Hello, people. Welcome to the P Podcast. We're here with
Dylan. Right.
So we're in the library right now. So can you tell us about this library, Dylan?
So this library here actually has an urban legend about it. This library we're in was built upon the ruins of the library that was here before, and they say many people worked here from that library that work here now, but not everyone. So there are new people that work here that didn't work here before, and there are people that used to work here that don't work here anymore. But legends say that every once in a while, it's not always on a full moon, but sometimes it is on a full moon, former people that used to work here show up in the library. Today, a former employee of the library was seen. She had retired, and we all thought she had disappeared, but she showed up today, said hello, and disappeared again. So urban legends say that this may or may not happen again.
So is it just like one in a lifetime chance or something?
You got them green feet, you got them green shoes, you got them shoes.
You're not.
Yes, sir. Why are you doing dirty like that? Why you have to do dirty like that? Yeah, but they call me out of you say you got a mess up.
All right. Thank you for that, Dylan.
No problem.
Anything else?
Well, I've heard rumors that this library isn't even on the top of a hill.
What? Oh my God, that's.
Hilltop library. But hear me out. What if that means there's a secret hill that we can't see that we're on top of?
All right, I want to talk about more like genuine stuff right now.
Excuse me.
No, not like unimportant, but like something not like unimportant. This is very important. This is very like mind blowing. But also, why do I feel like every time we die, we go into the afterlife, right? But we get reincarnated as a baby with new memories. We don't know anything about our past lives.
Are you saying you're isekai'd every time?
Yes, isekai'd every time you die. So you might die like 453 times and not even know it.
This is true. Many people are saying. How many people I mean you?
Well, for now, I just want to pause this, and I'll get back to you guys later. Like I said, welcome back to P Podcast. Today we're going to be looking at some Japanese urban legends for spooky season. Japan has a reputation for producing some terrifying horror movies, which are influenced by the country's creepy urban legend culture. Usually in Japan, scary stories are told in the dark in the middle of the summer to raise goosebumps and feel a chill during those humid months. But these legends are just as fitting in the fall, especially around Halloween. Here I selected some of the spookiest Japanese urban legends. Oh God, this is gonna be like really great. So, Kushisake Onna, the slit-mouthed woman, basically. Chusake Onna. Dylan. Chusake Onna is a slit-mouthed woman. I like this voice, like it's very nice. First up on our list of urban legends is Chusake Onna, the slit-mouthed woman. Legend has it that there was a beautiful woman during the Han period, 794 to 1185, who was married to a successful samurai. Though stunning, the woman was vain and unfaithful, was eventually caught cheating. Enraged, her husband brutally killed her by slashing her mouth, asking, "Who will think you're pretty now?" Her vengeful soul still roams around the living world. Sightings of the Chusake Onna. Chusake Onna happened in the dark, quiet alleyways. A woman in a long coat and face mask suddenly appears in an otherwise empty alley. "Am I pretty?" she asks. She asks like everybody if they're pretty. If she's pretty. She asks if the villain, if you answer yes, she will take off her face covering to reveal her gruesome scar and asks the follow-up question. Even now, if the victim answers no or tries to flee, she slashes them in the ear. But if they still enter, yes, she follows the victim home, only to brutally kill them there. Survivors of the Chisuke Ono live to tell the tale by giving ambitious answers like, "You're alright," which confuses the ghoul, giving the victim just enough time to escape. I want to talk about this a little bit longer because Chisuke Ono, I don't even know how to say that full name. Like, wait, pause. I need to. Sorry. Hey guys, we're back. So, as I was saying, Chisuke Ono lived to tell the tale by giving ambitious answers like, "You're alright," which confuses the ghoul, giving the victim just enough time to escape. Wow. Now, on to our next one, Tori no Hanako-san.
That sounds like realistic.
Yeah. I know. Tori no Hanako-san. Hanako of the Toilet. Ghosts haunting school bathrooms is a common urban legend globally, and Tori no Hanako-san is the Japanese equivalent to the North America's Bloody Mary haunt. In Japanese elementary schools, if you go to the third stall of the girls' bathroom on the third floor and knock 3 times, you'll open the door to see a little girl with a bob haircut and a red skirt. It's Hanako. She'll drag you in with her bloody hand and ask you to play with her. I don't want to play with any girls. Sorry. Wow, that seems really scary. For like somebody to do that, it's really scary. All right. The origins of Hanako-san vary across the country. Some say she died during the air raid in World War II. Others claim she committed suicide. What we know is, if you're not careful, you might come across her on your next trip to the school bathroom. That's creepy. I don't want to do that. Alright, our next person on this list, our next urban legend on this list is Maminashi Hoichi the Earless. Maminashi Hoichi is less urban legend and more folklore, but certainly notable. Hoichi was a blind Buahoshi, or a lute priest, who was well known for his incredible talent at playing the bala. A very poor man, he was invited to live at I'm not even going to say that, but it was a temple by a priest. One day he was asked by a samurai to perform a power daimyo, but Hoichi disappeared. In the dead of night, the priest grew suspicious. The priest eventually found him furiously playing his biwa in the middle of the cemetery. Hoichi had been bewitched, performing for the dead instead of a daimyo, as he believed it was now in grave danger. To protect him from the priest covered Hoichi in holy text. Unfortunately, he forgot his ears.
Well, we closed the full library at 9.
That night, when the spirits came to fetch Hoichi, he was nowhere to be found. All they found was a pair of floating ears. The spirits ripped off Hoichi's ears, but not wanting to be discovered, he didn't emit a single cry. At daybreak, the priest returned to the temple to discover Hoichi covered in blood and incredibly still. From then on, Hoichi grew famous and wealthy and would forever be known as Maminashi Hoichi. Talk about scary. That's like really scary on some like type stuff, and that's why now that's like a nice voice. I'm gonna switch to the narration vocal again. Right, so our next on this list is Owaya-san. The story of Owaya-san comes from Yotsuya Kaiden. And this is one of Japan's big 3 ghost stories. The real Owaya died in 1636, with shrines and temples dedicated to her spirit. She possibly is Japan's most famous ghost. You can even visit her grave at Myoki temple in I'm not saying any of these Japanese things because I cannot pronounce them, so I'm not going to. But if you guys want to search up this, located on, it's just some spooky scares, but in Japan. Anyway, her tale begins with an unhappy marriage to a thriving samurai named Lemon. Her father tried to help her escape the marriage, but she was killed by Lemon, forcing Owaya to stay with her husband. Eventually, Owaya bears a son during financially difficult times, and Lemon grows resentful of his wife. He then meets Ume, a granddaughter of a neighboring doctor who instantly falls in love with him. To help Ume's pursuit, the doctor describes Owaya an ointment that horribly disfigures her face. Lemon, disguised with Owaya, agrees to marry the younger and prettier Ume. Lemon then hires a man to rape Owaya so he can divorce his wife on grounds of indefinitely. However, when the man sees Owaya's face, he grows so frightened that he tells her of Lemon's plan and shows her a mirror, seeing her ruined face. Owaya lets out a strangled cry and punctures her own throat with a nearby sword. Her vengeful spirit works quickly, however, on Lemon and Ume's wedding. At night, the scheming samurai wakes up to see Owaya's gruesome face beside him. He unsheathes his sword and slashes his ex-wife's head, only to discover he has just slain Ume. Despite attempting to flee the scene, the spirit of Owaya chases him everywhere he goes. It eventually drives him insane.
Nice of him, even.
Next up on our list is the Rokurobai. The Rokurobai is one of Japan's most famous yokai, a supernatural entity. Recognizable by its impossibly long neck, unlike most yokai in Japanese folklore, who are born as monsters, the Rokurobai is born human. The Rokurobai is a curse that solely happens to women because of some misdeed they or their fathers or husbands have done. A normal woman during the day, it becomes a vicious yokai at night. Many women never even realize they have become Rokurobai. A famous story of the Rokurobai is of a monk named Inishu, who runs away with a woman named Oyuso. Shortly after eloping, the girl falls ill, and to save the money he would have spent on her medication, Inishu murders his wife. He then stays in an inn and shares a room with the innkeeper's beautiful daughter. During the night, the daughter's neck stretches and her face transforms into that of Oyutsu, condemning Inishu for murdering her. The next day, guilt-ridden Inishu confesses his evil doings to the innkeeper, who similarly confesses to murdering his wife, only to have his daughter turn into a Rokurobai. The monk returns to his temple to pray for Oyutsu's soul every day. That was crazy. Wow. Anyway. Alright, here's one that sounds really scary, the Red Room. Honestly, that sounds really scary, but we're gonna go into it right now. Popularized on internet's forums, the Red Room legend is particularly scary for modern audiences. If you're reading this on a computer screen, get ready to be spooked. That's for me, because I'm reading this on a computer screen right now in the library. The origin of the Red Room curse is unknown, but the users will randomly get a pop-up on their screen. The pop-up is red with a black text that simply reads, "Do you like the Red Room?" No matter how many times you try to close the pop-up window, several more will appear. The sinister voice asking the same question doesn't stop. No one knows exactly what's happening to the users, except that their bodies are discovered mangled and their walls covered in blood. The Red Room